paperclip bent into a swan rest near the black rotary phone, while dust motes drift across the ledger where my tired hand has grown. The second hand is dragging like an anchor through the glue, and 40 years of stacking papers tell me nothing new. My tie is tied against a throat that only learned to swallow pride, with all the things I meant to say tucked safely deep inside. The fluorescent tube above me gives a tired, steady hum, while the boss expects a miracle from fingers growing numb. I sign another dozen forms and fold them in a row, watching precious daylight vanish through the basement window slow. A photograph of Margaret sits beside a rusted tin of mints. We looked so bold and certain once through 30-year-old tints. Now lunch is just a ham and cheese and greasy waxen wrap, consumed between the filing cabinet and a 20-minute nap. My shoes are wearing thin right where the heel meets up with stone, walking down the granite corridor entirely alone. The fluorescent tube above me gives a tired, steady hum, while the boss expects a miracle from fingers growing numb. I sign another dozen forms and fold them in a row, watching precious daylight vanish through the basement window slow. 5 o'clock is coming like a slow train down the track, with every muscle aching in this stubborn middle back. The whistle at the factory will blow its final breath and liberate this quiet little daily living death. I pocket up the metal swan and turn the desk lamp low, lock the wooden drawer tight because there is no place else to go. Stepping out into the dusk with rain upon the street, another day of breathing has been notched into my feet. A distant broom scrapes hard against the pavement stone. The milk crate rattles where the truck has just gone by. You lace your Oxford shoes in silence all alone, and watch the pale gray dust settle in the sky. Remember back when weekends used to stretch so wide, We chase the river turtles down the muddy bank. Now 40 hours chain you to a metal side, and half your tea goes cold inside a heavy tank. Pack your sandwiches in foil and zip the leather bag. Look both ways before you cross the trolley line. Your weary shoulders carry such a heavy flag, while older men are drinking bitter house red wine. I know the elevator hums a dreary tune. I know the boss is breathing closely down your neck. Just keep your coat right on the chair beside the moon and cash the check. Walk slowly past the baker, turning out the lights. Ignore the glowing numbers on the office floor. You earn the quiet shadows of these fading nights. So turn the iron key and lock the heavy door. Toasted rye drifts down the hall, while worn-out leather shoes begin to fall into the rhythm of the 7:15 train. He watches droplets slide across the window pane. His briefcase holds the weight of 40 years, a quiet place for hidden hopes and quiet fears. She counts the ringing phones upon the 8th floor desk, a modern labyrinth that feels so picturesque. She types the ledgers with a steady, practiced hand, and dreams of walking barefoot on a distant sand. The fluorescent tubes above begin to hum and strain, while daylight slowly fades behind the glass again. 6 o'clock arrives without a sudden sound. They pack their coats and put their ledgers down, walking past the fountain where the pigeons feed, trading heavy desks for what the spirit needs. Tomorrow brings the same familiar ticking clock. Tonight they turn the heavy brass apartment lock. The television murmurs in the darkened room. A kettle starts to whistle through the quiet gloom. He loosens up the collar of his cotton tie. She looks at stars across the quiet evening sky. City lights are blinking through the velvet gray. Another another chapter folded in the book of day. They rest their weary eyes and let the silence grow, content with all the things they do not need to know. A sudden memory of last Sunday's pie cut crooked slips right through the quiet of my kitchen floor. Water kettle clicks and shuts itself in silence while I stare too long at faded floral tiles. Subway tunnel rumbles underneath the pavement. Leather briefcase scuffed against my winter wall. Faces in the carriage mirror look like paper, waiting for the punch to mark the opening bell. Glass doors slide apart on heavy brass hinges. Linoleum corridor smells like fresh bleach. Desk drawer rattles twice on rusted metal runners. 1,500 emails sit piled behind the glass. Plastic coffee stir spins in lukewarm water. Nobody will ask me how the garden grew. 14 ledger rows demand a steady pencil. Clock on wall is ticking 40 minutes slow. Neighbor at cubicle 7 drops a binder. Echoes through the floorboards like a distant door. Shadows stretch across the plaza by the fountain. Neon sign of laundry shop begins to blink. Coat is back on shoulders. Tie is tucked away. Walking toward the corner where the trolley stops. Key turns in the lock to let the evening greet me. Kitchen window fogs from soup upon the stove. Nothing in the paper tells the story right. Tomorrow I will wear the gray trousers again.
Which way did the pigeon go when the glass door slid apart? I am holding my old umbrella with a frayed and crooked spine. And the clock on the corner baker's shop says 8:20 past, while the tram moves down the iron line. Briefcases carry the weight of lead. metal door. Evening will wait where the river bends. Gray wool trousers and a tie, bought in 1992. Walking past the laundromat where the steam fogs up the glass. There is toast and bitter coffee waiting on the third floor corner desk where the afternoon will slowly pass. Briefcases carry the weight of lead, while thoughts of yesterday fill my head. Fingers press buttons on floor 4. Nobody speaks inside this metal door. Evening will wait where the river bends. Sometimes a letter comes from far away, asking how the winter fared. I put it safely in the drawer beneath the rubber bands and spare brown string. Now the trolley takes me back again, past the butcher shop and neon sign. Tomorrow starts the exact same way when I catch the early morning train. The weight of the chair reminds me how the floorboard's grown. 10,000 hours spent in vinyl skin alone. I tie my tie in darkness by the subway vent and wonder where the 22-year-old went. He had a paperback novel and holes in his shoes, believing the world had no reason to bruise. I bought the wool coat that you drew on the pad. It keeps out the chill better than what we had. Your posters are dust on my mother's back wall. I carry the briefing notes down through the hall. The elevator button bears a copper dent from fingers that worried which way the day went. They talk about pension and cutting the staff. I give them a practiced and diplomatic laugh. Remember the garret with frost on the pane? We swore that our names wouldn't wash down the drain. I bought the wool coat that you drew on the pad. It keeps out the chill better than what we had. Your posters are dust on my mother's back wall. I carry the briefing notes down through the hall. Dear boy in the mirror with ink on your thumb, forgive me for letting the wild river numb. I traded the midnight for 48 grand and fitted the heavy gold
better than what we had. Your posters are dust on my mother's back wall. I carry the briefing notes down through the hall. The lamp on the desk casts a circle of brass. I watch the last commuter through the window glass. I close up the folder and turn off the light and tell my young shadow it will turn out right. Yesterday she said the ferns are dying fast because the office radiator breathes too hot. I watched a pigeon peck a piece of frozen toast beside the curb where the delivery trucks park. A loose floorboard squeaks near the water cooler now. 3 steady notes like an accordion in town. The manager has taped a sign about the mugs, and nobody has laughed since 8:30. Old vinyl spinning in a corner cafe. We trade our best hours for a pension and tea. The ledger is heavy with columns of blue, while autumn leaves pile up on Avenue 2. At 5, the twilight paints the copy machine in shades of lavender and butterscotch cream. We button our coats against the evening frost to find what the afternoon almost forgot. The bus driver nods as I pay my fare with small silver coins that are losing their shine. I walk down the alley where chimney smoke curls, and home is a window with yellowing lace. Glowing 7:58 on the microwave dial, while the kettle tries to whistle a familiar old tune. I butter up a piece of toast and stand for a while, watching shadows stretch across the wooden kitchen floorboard soon. Tie the laces on my shoes that seen 10 years of streets. Grab the leather briefcase with the split right handle seam. 30 years from now I will look back at this exact rush, wondering why I worried about a misplaced spreadsheet file. When the silver evening comes and quiets down the city hush, takes a second to glow red, passing floor by floor until the glass doors slide apart. Fluorescent panels humming overhead, just another chapter written by a working heart. Someday I will sit upon a porch with empty hands, no meeting links to click, no urgent messages to read, and I will smile remembering how fast the pavement sands ran through the hourglass of what I thought I had to hear. The clock will read an evening hour that belongs to me alone, when the desk is just a piece of wood inside a quiet room. I will close the heavy front door and forget the telephone, and rest my weary shoes beside the evening broom. A milk float rattles down the brick-paved lane and rattles every pane of quiet glass. You tie your shoes and check the falling rain while watching all the hooded shadows pass. Old friend, you look at rusted station clocks as if the hands might turn the other way. We used to skip across the jagged rocks, now count the hours until the closing day. Suitcases crammed with carbon paper dreams, we climb the stairs inside the ledger mill. The coffee stains have leaked through woolen seams, while time has left the water cooler still. Remember when we thought the world was wide before the ledger books had pinned us down? We kept our paper airplanes safe inside and watched the autumn leaves blow through the town. So hang your heavy coat behind the door and leave your badge beside the boiling pot. We do not need to punch the clock no more. We take the road we nearly quite forgot. A smell of damp wool rises from the grate, where winter coats are hung upon the rack. He checks his watch and hopes he is not late, with heavy leather folders on his back. The linoleum hall reflecting flickering neon overhead. Another Tuesday climbs the wooden stairs, a quiet routine that nobody shares. He taps the glass to show his numbered card. The elevator groans through cables hard. Rows of gray desks await the ticking clock. A steady hand unlocks the heavy lock. The ledger opens to a blank white page where fountain ink begins to slowly dry. He turns the leaf and reads the written wage and watches clouds drift slowly through the sky. A fellow clerk brings cups of steaming tea with quiet nods of silent sympathy. He taps the glass to show his numbered card. The elevator groans through cables hard. Rows of gray desks await the ticking clock. A steady hand unlocks the heavy lock. The afternoon brings shadows to the floor, and coats are lifted from the rack once more. The building settles as the lights go down upon the oldest corner of the town. He walks the pavement in the fading light and locks his worn-out briefcase for the night. The street lamps flicker as he turns the key and finds his way back home to family. The weight of the chair tells me how the hours will lean. A plastic receipt tucked inside of a worn-out blue jean. I count up the rivets that hold up the second floor wall and wonder if 24 years were too short or too tall. You were so certain the building would crumble right down the moment they handed you keys to this gray part of town. Little dreamer in the oversized jacket, listen close to the noise and the racket. Every ledger you balanced will fade like the ink, while the future you feared is much softer, I think. The elevator rattles past floor number 9, carrying coffee cups out of a different design. I look at the glass in the frame by the telephone stand and wish I could reach back and steady your trembling hand. You thought every mistake was a permanent stain, a lightning bolt striking the glass on the window pane. jacket. Listen close to the noise and the racket. Every ledger you balance will fade like the ink, while the future you feared is much softer, I think. It takes half a lifetime to learn how to put down the load, to see that the office is just a short bend in the road. The clock on the pillar keeps ticking, no matter the pace. And someday you will finally smile at this unremarkable place. So finish the tea that you poured at 3:45, and lock up the past as you walk right on out of the door. A sudden prick of dust against the screen reminds me of the room I haven't seen in 20 years, when keys are left behind and heavy doors no longer need to grind. I see the glass where paperclips used to sleep, and all the counted hours I used to keep. Some decades hence I will sit on the porch while afternoon sun burns like a slow torch. No briefcase to carry, no trousers to press, just watching the neighbors in Sunday success. The swivel chair will be a ghost of pine, replaced by cherry wood and old red wine. I wonder how I rushed for 8 o'clock, when time is just a rusted garden lock. The spreadsheets will dissolve to summer rain, and I won't care about the midnight train. The rocking chair will start to creak its song, to prove that waiting took this whole life long.
She said the ferns are drying out too fast. Before I even took my heavy coat off, a stack of yellow slips upon the glass, a shadow where the water cooler stood off. Old brass handles turn with steady grease, there's a cough behind the binder. The calendar is oddly picturesque, with pictures of a bridge I cannot find there. Old brass handles turn with steady grease. We punch the cards and find our quiet place. Small green lamps illuminate the lease, while time erases yesterday from every face. At 4 o'clock the ceiling fan will squeak, a rhythm that we've memorized by week. We lock the door and leave the lamps to cool. Another chapter finished in this room. A nickel stuck beneath the blotter from 1997, perhaps. The neon tube above is buzzing, a steady rhythm through the gaps. I lace my fingers on the grain, test if time has moved at all. The ledger closes with a hollow thud. A coat is draped across the metal chair. The corridor is dim and smelling clean. Another Tuesday settles in the dust. The calendar still shows October, although the frost has come and gone. My neighbor left a plastic teacup with half a lemon floating on. I turn the calendar page back to watch the little numbers blur. The ledger closes with a hollow thud. A coat is draped across the metal chair. The corridor is dim and smelling clean. Another Tuesday settles in the dust. 10,000 hours spent in counting lines until the numbers start to look like rain. I wonder if the garden gate is rusted, or if the latch is holding up the same. I pocket up the nickel for the train and turn the heavy brass knob in the dark. The hallway carpet swallows up my shoes, while night puts out the last remaining spark.
Bread Van Squeaks its rusted axle past, while you and I pull collars tight against the wind that smells of damp asphalt and ash. Another Tuesday climbs the concrete fence. You check your silver watch and shift your bag. I match your stride along the paving stone. We've worn these leather shoes down to the tag and left our quiet houses all alone. 10,000 mornings trained us for this street, where heavy glass doors open on command. We trade our youth for numbers on a sheet and hold the flickering neon in our hand. Old friend, we punch the clocks and climb the stair to face the desks that wait for us upstairs. The ledger calls our names before we speak and keeps us bound throughout the working week. The hallway lamp is flickering once more. It hums a low complaint above the floor. You drop your heavy coat upon the chair and stare at all the papers scattered there. We breathe the stale invention of the fan and start to type the story of the man who sells his daylight for a pension check and keeps the company around his neck. Remember when we talked of open roads, of leaving every desk and every load? Now 5 o'clock is just a distant bell. We ring ourselves inside this quiet cell. The bread van wheels are turning far away. We fold our papers up and end the day. You turn the corner by the iron gate and promise not to let tomorrow wait.
A glowing red 40 on the stove reminds me of the letter I should write back to the boy who wore the heavy coat and thought the world would listen through the night. You worry far too much about the ink and whether anyone will care to read. The ledger fills up quietly with rows of blue, while you are saving pennies for a pair of boots. I wish I could walk backward through the spinning door and tell you that the worrying is all for naught. Your shoes are caked in mud from walking home. because you spent the fare on roasted corn. You think the tiny room above the store will be your castle until you are old and worn. The kettle whistles softly on the iron ring, and you are practicing the tunes you wanna sing. The ledger fills up quietly with rows of blue, while you are saving pennies for a pair of boots. I wish I could walk backward through the spinning door and tell you that the worrying is all for naught. We made it past the winter with the broken glass, and found that simple quiet days at last can fill a heart much better than the praise of strangers in the crowded city haze. So fold the paper carefully and seal the flap, because the map you drew is quite the proper map. The bus is rounding corners on the gravel street and bringing us together where the ages meet. Sudden arithmetic puzzle cuts through the gray room before the kettle even whistles on the stove. The train schedule printed neatly on a yellow card demands a careful balance of the hourly groove. Briefcases carry the weight of a quiet ambition, while elevators lift the quietest repetition. Across the polished floor, the morning light is spread. 1,000 leather shoes step lightly overhead. The fluorescent tubes are humming above row 4. A stack of double-sided ledgers waiting near. Someone forgot to close the small supply room door, where calendars are ticking down another year. Through tinted windows, watching traffic slowly creep. A hurried sandwich eaten at a walnut desk. The afternoon routine is steady, mild and deep. A modern fable, slightly worn and picturesque. The copper clock is striking 6 against the wall. A coat is lifted from the metal coat rack stand. Another ordinary evening catches up to all, with paper clippings folded safely in the hand. presses down on the wood, just like the promises once understood. I button my collar against the damp air and look at the stranger reflected right there. You wanted to conquer the top of the hill with ink in your pocket and time to burn still. I saved you a letter, I kept it concealed, about how the pavement is rarely a shield. We traded the canvas for lined ledger rows, and nobody asks you which way the wind blows. The clock on the wall has a steady cold stare, while youth disappears in the folds of the stair. The tea in my thermos is bitter and gray. It tastes like the middle of every workday. I wanted to tell you the climb gets quite steep, and promises made are so heavy to keep. Remember the songs that we sang on the bus, before all the filing cabinets altered us. I hold up a mirror, you wave from the glass, and whisper that moments like these have to pass. So hang up your jacket and turn out the light. The desk is just wood in the middle of night. I forgive you for dreaming of places so far, as I walk through the shadows and look for a star. She said the water bill was double this month, and the gray Buick needed new tires again. The linoleum floor had a split in the seam, right where the cold draft comes in from the den. A yellow receipt tucked inside a thick book, 2 stamps on a letter that never got mailed. The hum of the fridge like a slow ticking clock, while the steam from the kettle went up and then failed. Briefcases carry the weight of the square, while pennies are counted beneath the stair. The ledger is balanced with ink from a pen, and everyone waits for 5 o'clock then. A stray button resting on top of the phone, the green blotter stained by a cup of cold tea, 3 paperclips linked in a wandering chain that nobody made for the world or for me. one by one as footsteps are fading away down the hall. A shadow stretches across the dark wall before the quiet settles on all. The heavy front door clicks shut in the lock, and time starts to move without any clock. Walking back home through the chill in the air, with forgotten keys in the bottom drawer.
A glowing green 05 on the microwave dial, while the kettle tells secrets to the kitchen tile. 30 years of carrying a heavy leather case. Soon I will be looking at an empty time and space. They hand out a clock with a silver engraved plate for walking through the lobby when the hour was late. Tomorrow the trousers stay folded in the drawer. No racing for the platform with a slamming metal door. The files can stay dusty on the 7th floor shelf. At 65 I finally get to meet myself. A pair of worn sneakers waiting by the back screen. No calendar to tell me what the colors mean. I picture the desk lamp burning out its last thread while I sit with pajamas and a novel read. The traffic can crawl past the garden in the rain without me gripping tightly to a commuter train. Tomorrow the trousers stay folded in the drawer. No racing for the platform with a slamming metal door. The files can stay dusty on the 7th floor shelf. At 65 I finally get to meet myself. And nobody will care if the printer jams again, or if I forget the spelling of a dozen different men. The pencil is dull and the ledger finally closed. I leave the building quiet as the elevator slowed. The driveway is empty and the mailbox is clear. I pour another coffee in the fading daylight here. No badge on my collar and no punch card to sign. The rest of the story is completely mine. A scent of burnt toast lingers down the hall, while shadows lengthen on the panel wall. A 30-year routine begins to speak through creaking leather and a tired cheek. The numbers tally on the green ledger. I trace the margins where the edges blur. A distant radio plays a gentle brass. We watch the quiet hours slowly pass. Briefcases snap shut with the hollow ring, while ceiling fans stir up what tomorrow will bring. A yellow notepad fills with figures and names beside the window where the pigeon remains. At 4 o'clock the corridor grows still. A draft blows softly from the windowsill. We trade our youth for ledger stacks so high, and wave the evening commuter train goodbye. The hallway lights blink out one by one. Another quiet chapter finally done. I lock the drawer and turn the heavy key, and walk the empty sidewalk back to me.
A paperclip bent into a swan rest near the black rotary phone, while dust motes drift across the ledger where my tired hand has grown. The second hand is dragging like an anchor through the glue, and 40 years of stacking papers tell me nothing new. My tie is tied against a throat that only learned to swallow pride. With all the things I meant to say tucked safely deep inside. The fluorescent tube above me gives a tired, steady hum, while the boss expects a miracle from fingers growing numb. I sign another dozen forms and fold them in a row, watching precious daylight vanish through the basement window slow. A photograph of Margaret sits beside a rusted tin of mints. We looked so bold and certain once through 30-year-old tints. Now lunch is just a ham and cheese and greasy waxen wrap, consumed between the filing cabinet and a 20-minute nap. My shoes are wearing thin right where the heel meets up with stone. Walking down the granite corridor, entirely alone. The fluorescent tube above me gives a tired, steady hum, while the boss expects a miracle from fingers growing numb. I sign another dozen forms and
watches daylight vanish through the basement window slow. 5 o'clock is coming like a slow train down the track, with every muscle aching in this stubborn middle back. The whistle at the factory will blow its final breath and liberate this quiet little daily living death. I pocket up the metal Swan and turn the desk lamp low. Lock the wooden drawer tight because there is no place else to go. Stepping out into the dusk with rain upon the street, another day of breathing has been notched into my feet.
A distant broom scrapes hard against the pavement stone. The milk crate rattles where the truck has just gone by. You lace your Oxford shoes in silence all alone and watch the pale gray dust settle in the sky. Remember back when weekends used to stretch so wide. We chased the river turtles down the muddy bank. Now 40 hours chain you to a metal side, and half your tea goes cold inside a heavy tank. Pack your sandwiches in foil and zip the leather bag. Look both ways before you cross the trolley line. Your weary shoulders carry such a heavy flag, while older men are drinking bitter house red wine. I know the elevator hums a dreary tune. I know the boss is breathing closely down your neck. Just keep your coat right on the chair beside the moon and cash the check. Walk slowly past the baker, turning out the lights. Ignore the glowing numbers on the office floor. You earn the quiet shadows of these fading nights. So turn the iron key and lock the heavy door. Of toasted rye drifts down the hall, while worn out leather shoes begin to fall into the rhythm of the 7:15 train. He watches droplets slide across the window pane. His briefcase holds the weight of 40 years, a quiet place for hidden hopes and quiet fears. She counts the ringing phones upon
picturesque. She types the ledgers with a steady, practiced hand and dreams of walking barefoot on a distant sand. The fluorescent tubes above begin to hum and strain while daylight slowly fades behind the glass again. 6 o'clock arrives without a sudden sound. They pack their coats and put their ledgers down, walking past the fountain where the pigeons feed, trading heavy desks for what the spirit needs. Tomorrow brings the same familiar ticking clock. Tonight they turn the heavy brass apartment lock. The television murmurs in the darkened room. A kettle starts to whistle through the quiet gloom. He loosens up the collar of his cotton tie. She looks at stars across the quiet evening sky. The city lights are blinking through the velvet gray. Another chapter folded in the book of day. They rest their weary eyes and let the silence grow, content with all the things they do not need to know. A sudden memory of last Sunday's pie cut crooked slips right through the quiet of my kitchen floor. Water kettle clicks and shuts itself in silence while I stare too long at faded floral tiles. Subway tunnel rumbles underneath the pavement. Leather briefcase scuffed against my winter wall. Faces in the carriage mirror look like paper, waiting for the punch to mark the opening bell. Glass doors slide apart on heavy brass hinges. Linoleum corridor smells like fresh bleach. Desk drawer rattles twice on rusted metal runners. 1,500 emails sit piled behind the glass. Plastic coffee stir spins in lukewarm water. Nobody will ask me how the garden grew. 14 ledger rows demand a steady pencil. Clock on wall is ticking 40 minutes slow. Neighbor at cubicle 7 drops a binder. Echoes through the floorboards like a distant door. Shadows stretch across the plaza by the fountain. Neon sign of laundry shop begins to blink. Coat is back on tucked away, walking toward the corner where the trolley stops. Key turns in the lock to let the evening greet me. Kitchen window fogs from soup upon the stove. Nothing in the paper tells the story right. Tomorrow I will wear the gray trousers again.
Which way did the pigeon go when the glass door slid apart? I am holding my old umbrella with a frayed and crooked spine. And the clock on the corner baker's shop says 8:20 past, while the tram moves down the iron line. Briefcases carry the weight of lead, while thoughts of yesterday fill my head. Fingers press buttons on floor 4. Nobody speaks inside this metal door. Evening will wait where the river bends. Gray wool trousers and a tie bought in 1992. Walking past the laundromat where the steam fogs up the glass. There is toast and bitter coffee waiting on the third floor corner desk, where the afternoon will slowly pass. Briefcases carry the weight of lead, while thoughts of yesterday fill my head. Fingers press buttons on floor 4. Nobody speaks inside this metal door. Evening will wait where the river bends. Sometimes a letter comes from far away, asking how the winter fared. I put it safely in the drawer beneath the rubber bands and spare brown string. Now the trolley takes me back again, past the butcher shop and neon sign. Tomorrow starts the exact same way when I catch the early morning train. The weight of the chair reminds me how the floorboard's grown. 10,000 hours spent in vinyl skin alone. I tie my tie in darkness by the subway vent and wonder where the 22-year-old went. He had a paperback novel and holes in his shoes. had no reason to bruise. I bought the wool coat that you drew on the pad. It keeps out the chill better than what we had. Your posters are dust on my mother's back wall. I carry the briefing notes down through the hall. The elevator button bears a copper dent from fingers that worried which way the day went. They talk about pension and cutting the staff. I give them a practiced and diplomatic laugh. Remember the garret with frost on the pane? We swore that our names wouldn't wash down the drain. I bought the wool coat that you drew on the pad. It keeps out the chill better than what we had. Your posters are dust on my mother's back wall. I carry the briefing notes down through the hall. Dear boy in the mirror with ink on your thumb, forgive me for letting the wild river numb. I traded the midnight for 48 grand and fitted the heavy gold ring to my hand. I bought the wool coat that you drew on the pad. It keeps out the chill better than what we had. Your posters are dust on my mother's back wall. I carry the briefing notes down through the hall. The lamp on the desk casts a circle of brass. I watch the last commuter through the window glass. I close up the folder and turn off the light and tell my young shadow it will turn out right. Yesterday she said the ferns are dying fast because the office radiator breathes too hot. I watched a pigeon peck a piece of frozen toast beside the curb where the delivery trucks park. A loose floorboard squeaks near the water cooler now. 3 steady notes like an accordion in town. The manager has taped a sign about the mugs, and nobody has laughed since 8:30. Old vinyl spinning in a corner cafe. We trade our best hours for a pension and tea. The ledger is heavy with columns of blue, while autumn leaves pile up on Avenue 2. At 5, the twilight paints the copy machine in shades of lavender and butterscotch cream.
We button our coats against the evening frost to find what the afternoon almost forgot. The bus driver nods as I pay my fare with small silver coins that are losing their shine. I walk down the alley where chimney smoke curls, and home is a window with yellowing lace. Glowing 7:58 on the microwave dial, while the kettle tries to whistle a familiar old tune. I butter up a piece of toast and stand for a while, watching shadows stretch across the wooden kitchen floorboard soon. Tie the laces on my shoes that seen 10 years of streets. Grab the leather briefcase with the split right handle seam. 30 years from now I will look back at this exact rush, wondering why I worried about a misplaced spreadsheet file. When the silver evening comes and quiets down the city hush, I will miss the simple weight of every ordinary mile. The elevator button takes a second to glow red, passing floor by floor until the glass doors slide apart. Fluorescent panels humming overhead, just another chapter written by a working heart. Someday I will sit upon a porch with empty hands, no meeting links to click, no urgent messages to read, and I will smile, remembering how fast the pavement sands ran through the hourglass of what I thought I had to heed. The clock will read an evening hour that belongs to me alone, when the desk is just a piece of wood inside a quiet room. I will close the heavy front door and forget the telephone, and rest my weary shoes beside the evening broom. A milk float rattles down the brick-paved lane and rattles every pane of quiet glass. You tie your shoes and check the falling rain while watching all the hooded shadows pass. Old friend, you look at rusted station clocks as if the hands might turn the other way. We used to skip across the jagged rocks. Now count the hours until the closing day. Suitcases crammed with carbon paper dreams. We climb the stairs inside the ledger mill. The coffee stains have leaked through woolen seams, while time has left the water cooler still. Remember when we thought the world was wide before the ledger books had pinned us down? We kept our paper airplanes safe inside and watched the autumn leaves blow through the town. So hang your heavy coat behind the door and leave your badge beside the boiling pot. We do not need to punch the clock no more. We take the road we nearly quite forgot. A smell of damp wool rises from the grate, where winter coats are hung upon the rack. He checks his watch and hopes he is not late, with heavy leather folders on his back. The linoleum hallway shines so bright, reflecting flickering neon overhead. Another Tuesday climbs the wooden stairs, a quiet routine that nobody shares. He taps the glass to show his numbered card. The elevator groans through cables hard. Rows of gray desks await the ticking clock. A steady hand unlocks the heavy lock. The ledger opens to a blank white page, where fountain ink begins to slowly dry. He turns the leaf and reads the written wage, and watches clouds drift slowly through the sky. A fellow clerk brings cups of steaming tea, with quiet nods of silent sympathy. He taps the glass to show his numbered card. The elevator groans through cables hard. Rows of gray desks await the ticking clock. A steady hand unlocks the heavy lock. The afternoon brings shadows to the floor, and coats are lifted from the rack once more. The building settles as the lights go down upon the oldest corner of the town. He walks the pavement in the fading light, and locks his worn-out briefcase for the night. he turns the key and finds his way back home to family. The weight of the chair tells me how the hours will lean. A plastic receipt tucked inside of a worn out blue jean. I count up the rivets that hold up the second floor wall and wonder if 24 years were too short or too tall. You were so certain the building would crumble right down the moment they handed you keys to this gray part of town. Little dreamer in the oversized jacket, listen close to the noise and the racket. Every ledger you balanced will fade like the ink, while the future you feared is much softer, I think. The elevator rattles past floor number 9, carrying coffee cups out of a different design. I look at the glass in the frame by the telephone stand and wish I could reach back and steady your trembling hand. You thought every mistake was a permanent stain, a lightning bolt striking the glass on the window pane. Little dreamer in the oversized jacket, listen close to the noise and the racket. Every ledger you balance will fade like the ink, while the future you feared is much softer, I think. It takes half a lifetime to learn how to put down the load, to see that the office is just a short bend in the road. The clock on the pillar keeps ticking, no matter the pace, and someday you will finally smile at this unremarkable place. So finish the tea that you poured at 4:45 and lock up the past as you walk right on out of the door. A sudden prick of dust against the screen reminds me of the room I haven't seen in 20 years, when keys are left behind and heavy doors no longer need to grind. I see the glass where Paperclips used to sleep, and all the counted hours I used to keep. Some decades hence I will sit on the porch while afternoon sun burns like a slow torch. No briefcase to carry, no trousers to press, just watching the The swivel chair will be a ghost of pine, replaced by cherry wood and old red wine. I wonder how I rushed for 8 o'clock, when time is just a rusted garden lock. The spreadsheets will dissolve to summer rain, and I won't care about the midnight train. The rocking chair will start to creak its song, to prove that waiting took this whole life long.
She said the ferns are drying out too fast. Before I even took my heavy coat off, a stack of yellow slips upon the glass, a shadow where the water cooler stood off. Old brass handles turn with steady grease. We punch the cards and find our quiet place. Small green lamps illuminate the lease, while time erases yesterday from every face. Three paper clips roll down the sloping desk. A neighbor shares a cough behind the binder. The calendar is oddly picturesque, with pictures of a bridge I cannot find there. Old brass handles turn with steady grease. We punch the cards and find our quiet place. Small green lamps illuminate the lease, while time erases yesterday from every face. At 4 o'clock, the ceiling fan will squeak, a rhythm that we've memorized by week. We lock the door and leave the lamps to cool. Another chapter finished in this room. A nickel stuck beneath the blotter from 1997, perhaps. The neon tube above is buzzing, a steady rhythm through the gaps. I lace my fingers on the grain to test if time has moved at all. The ledger closes with a hollow thud. A coat is draped across the metal chair. The corridor is dim and smelling clean. Another Tuesday settles in the dust. The calendar still shows October, although the frost has come and gone. My neighbor left a plastic teacup with half a lemon floating on. I turn the calendar page back to watch the little numbers blur. The ledger closes with a hollow thud. A coat is draped across the metal chair. The corridor is dim and smelling clean. Another Tuesday settles in the dust. 10,000 hours spent in counting lines until the numbers start to look like rain. I wonder if the garden gate is rusted, or if the latch is holding up the same. I pocket up the nickel for the train and turn the heavy brass knob in the dark. The hallway carpet swallows up my shoes, while night puts out the last remaining spark.
The Bread Van Squeaks its rusted axle past, while you and I pull collars tight against the wind that smells of damp asphalt and ash. Another Tuesday climbs the concrete fence. You check your silver watch and shift your bag. I'm at your stride along the paving stone. We've worn these leather shoes down to the tag and left our quiet houses all alone. 10,000 mornings trained us for this street, where heavy glass doors open on command. We trade our youth for numbers on a sheet and hold the flickering neon in our hand. Old friend, we punch the clocks and climb the stair to face the desks that wait for us upstairs. The ledger calls our names before we speak and keeps us bound throughout the working week. You drop your heavy coat upon the chair and stare at all the papers scattered there. We breathe the stale invention of the fan and start to type the story of the man who sells his daylight for a pension check and keeps the company around his neck. Remember when we talked of open roads, of leaving every desk and every load? Now 5 o'clock is just a distant bell. We ring ourselves inside this quiet cell. The bread van wheels are turning far away. We fold our papers up and end the day. You turn the corner by the iron gate and promise not to let tomorrow wait.
A glowing red 40 on the stove reminds me of the letter I should write back to the boy who wore the heavy coat and thought the world would listen through the night. You worry far too much about the ink and whether anyone will care to read. The ledger fills up quietly with rows of blue while you are saving pennies for a pair of boots. I wish I could walk backward through the spinning door and tell you that the worrying is all for naught. Your shoes are caked in mud from walking home because you spent the fare on roasted corn. You think the tiny room above the store will be your castle until you are old and worn. The kettle whistles softly on the iron ring and you are practicing the tunes you wanna sing. The ledger fills up quietly with rows of blue while you are saving pennies for a pair of boots. I wish I could walk backward through the spinning door and tell you that the worrying is all for naught. We made it past the winter with the broken glass and found that simple quiet days at last can fill a heart much better than the praise of strangers in the crowded city haze. So fold the paper carefully and seal the flap, because the map you drew is quite the proper map. The bus is rounding corners on the gravel street and bringing us together
sudden arithmetic puzzle cuts through the gray room before the kettle even whistles on the stove. The train schedule printed neatly on a yellow card demands a careful balance of the hourly groove. Briefcases carry the weight of a quiet ambition, while elevators lift the quietest repetition. Across the polished floor, the morning light is spread. 1,000 leather shoes step lightly overhead. The fluorescent tubes are humming above row 4. A stack of double-sided ledgers waiting near. Someone forgot to close the small supply room door, where calendars are ticking down another year. Through tinted windows, watching traffic slowly creep. A hurried sandwich eaten at a walnut desk. The afternoon routine is steady, mild and deep. A modern fable slightly worn and picturesque. The copper clock is striking 6 against the wall. A coat is lifted from the metal coat rack stand. Another ordinary evening catches up to all, with paper clippings folded safely in the hand.
The chair presses down on the wood, just like the promises once understood. I button my collar against the damp air and look at the stranger reflected right there. You wanted to conquer the top of the hill, with ink in your pocket and time to burn still. I saved you a letter, I kept it concealed, about how the pavement is rarely a shield. We traded the canvas for lined ledger rows, and nobody asks you which way the wind blows. The clock on the wall has a steady cold stare, while youth disappears in the folds of the stair. The tea in my thermos is bitter and gray. It tastes like the middle of every workday. I wanted to tell you the climb gets quite steep, and promises made are so heavy to keep. Remember the songs that we sang on the bus, before all the filing cabinets altered us. I hold up a mirror, you wave from the glass, and whisper that moments like these have to pass. So hang up your jacket and turn out the light. The as I walk through the shadows and look for a star. She said the water bill was double this month, and the gray Buick needed new tires again. The linoleum floor had a split in the seam, right where the cold draft comes in from the den. A yellow receipt tucked inside a thick book, 2 stamps on a letter that never got mailed. The hum of the fridge like a slow ticking clock, while the steam from the kettle went up and then failed. Briefcases carry the weight of the square, while pennies are counted beneath the stair. The ledger is balanced with ink from a pen, and everyone waits for 5 o'clock then. A stray button resting on top of the phone, the green blotter stained by a cup of cold tea, 3 paperclips linked in a wandering chain that nobody made for the world or for me. The corridor lights flick on one by one as footsteps are fading away down the hall. A shadow stretches across the dark wall before the quiet settles on all. The heavy front door clicks shut in the lock, and time starts to move without any clock. Walking back home through the chill in the air, with forgotten keys in the bottom drawer. A glowing green 05 on the microwave dial, while the kettle tells secrets to the kitchen tile. 30 years of carrying a heavy leather case. Soon I will be looking at an empty time and space. They hand out a clock with a silver engraved plate for walking through the lobby when the hour was late. Tomorrow the trousers stay folded in the drawer. No racing for the platform with a slamming metal door. The files can stay dusty on the 7th floor shelf. At 65
tell me what the colors mean. I picture the desk lamp burning out its last thread while I sit with pajamas and a novel read. The traffic can crawl past the garden in the rain without me gripping tightly to a commuter train. Tomorrow the trousers stay folded in the drawer. No racing for the platform with a slamming metal door. The files can stay dusty on the 7th floor shelf. At 65 I finally get to meet myself. And nobody will care if the printer jams again, or if I forget the spelling of a dozen different men. The pencil is dull and the ledger finally closed. I leave the building quiet as the elevator slowed. The driveway is empty and the mailbox is clear. I pour another coffee in the fading daylight here. No badge on my collar and no punch card to sign. The rest of the story is completely mine. The scent of burnt toast lingers down the hall, while shadows lengthen on the panel wall. A 30-year routine begins to speak through creaking leather and a tired cheek. The numbers tally on the green ledger. I trace the margins where the edges blur. A distant radio plays a gentle brass. We watch the quiet hours slowly pass. Briefcases snap shut with the hollow ring, while ceiling fans stir up what tomorrow will bring. A yellow notepad fills with figures and names beside the window where the pigeon remains. At 4 o'clock the corridor grows still. A draft blows softly from the windowsill. We trade our youth for ledger stacks so high and wave the evening commuter train goodbye. The hallway lights blink out one by one. Another quiet chapter finally done. I lock the drawer